Well, hello, and welcome to Real Beauty A to Z, home of all things beauty, but from the inside out. So, you've managed to forgive everyone else, but when it comes to you, the grace runs out, doesn't it? You replay what you should have said, what you did, or how you should have done things differently, and you call it being accountable. But really, it's self punishment dressed in responsibility. Now, don't get me wrong, we should all hold ourselves accountable, but let's be honest. I think you're tired, and you should be, because you are carrying the guilt that God has already dropped at the cross. We're talking about self compassion, and self compassion isn't letting yourself off the hook, it's letting God off the cross because you stopped trying to pay the price that He has already covered. Why keep making payments on a debt that's already canceled? Friends, that is not humility. That is actually unbelief. When you truly believe what God says about you, grace then becomes your growth plan. You stop saying things like, oh, I'm a mess, and you start saying things like, I'm still in progress. Let's take a look at what it says in Psalms chapter 103, verses 13 and the first part of the 14th verse. And I'm reading this out of the Passion Translation. It says, the same way a loving father feels towards his children, that's but a sample of your tender feelings towards us, your beloved children who live in awe of you. You know all about us, inside and out. So if God can show us tender mercy, surely we can show it to ourselves. He isn't looking for perfection. He's just wanting our participation. He wants us to get back up, to keep walking, and to try again tomorrow, but this time in His strength and not our shame. Let's think about a toddler who's learning to walk. You don't yell at them when they fall down, do you? No, we cheer on every little step, even the wobbly ones. So why is it when we fall down, we call ourselves a failure instead of a learner? God is not looking for perfect steps. He's just looking for forward ones. I think some of you right now are withholding compassion because you think that you don't deserve it. But God's compassion isn't earned. It's extended. So it's time for you to talk to yourself the way He talks to us. We need to silence that critic that's in our head and start to speak life instead. You're not falling apart. You're just being reshaped on purpose. The next time your mind tries to remind you of what went wrong, remind it of what has already been redeemed. You're forgiven, you're growing, and you are loved. This is Real Beauty A to Z, where we are rewriting the narrative together.